Well, this video certainly was not easy to do. This was difficult. So, hi, welcome, I'm Gent. This is Jent Watches One Piece, my second channel where I specifically focus on One Piece content. Now, if you've been watching my One Piece content, you might know that every 100 episodes, I've been doing a top 5 moments of those 100 episodes. I do this because I want to, take some time to appreciate the episodes that I've just watched. I love going through this show, and I'm trying to find a nice balance between not rushing the show, but also, getting a lot of content out of it and going through it at a pace that satisfies me. And this is the sort of show that you just want to binge while you're watching it at all times. So one way for me to savor the show is to not just let those awesome moments pass me by and then not think about them, but to actually reflect on those moments, talk about them with you guys. So in these videos, I will go through my top 5 moments in descending order, 5 to 1, and talk about each of my favorite moments, while also showing you guys little clips from the reaction videos. Then you can go and watch the original reaction videos for those episodes if you want to see the proper reaction, and on top of that, if you want to see the full-length reaction, that's you watch the entire episodes with me, those will be on my Patreon account down in the description below, and that's, trust me, that's worth it. I mean, like, if you like my reactions, you're just getting more reactions out of them, and you don't have to worry about the editing or whatever. So definitely go check those out. Anyway, this is definitely the hardest one that I've had to do, because in other ones, in my other 2 top 5 videos, I've normally did about 7 moments total. 7 or 8 moments, and then I cut it down to 5, right? In this one, I did 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 moments, and that was like, those were all ones that were genuinely in contention. There were still other moments that I really liked that I just didn't put on this list, and didn't even put on the, honorable mentions list, but there were a lot of moments in these 100 episodes, and you guys told me that would be coming. You said after, I saw a few people say after episode 200, those top 5 moments, like, oh, I can't wait for the next one because there's a lot of good moments, and you were right. This was an incredible span of 100 episodes, so I cannot wait to jump into this, yeah, we're just gonna go right for number 5. So at number 5 we have Aokiji versus the Straw Hats. What? She knows him? Whoa, Nico Robin's having an actual emotion. Oh, he's a Marine. What? World government's ultimate powerhouses? Admiral Aokiji. So this moment was sort of the reveal of Admiral Aokiji, and just finding out about him, seeing him for the first time, seeing his ice powers, and then having us face off against him for the first time. Now, there's several moments that I think, several reasons I think this moment is so great. The first being, it's great that this show is showing that there are enemies out there that are still, like, beyond our reach. He's like Crocodile, he's like Eneru, he's invincible, because that was something the show was good at the start. Like, pretty early on in the show, they bring in Hawkeye and have Hawkeye fight Zoro, just to show you, like, yeah, Zoro is a great swordsman, but look, he is nowhere close to this guy. Like, this guy that just came in, Zoro does not stand a chance against him. So what they're doing now is, because we've beaten a warlord, we've beaten Crocodile, we've done some crazy things at this point. It's like the show is going, now hold on, like, yes, we're very powerful, and we got, like, partially lucky, partially, we were in the right place at the right time with the right amount of people to take down a warlord. However, that's not all, and here is someone who might be our enemy if we do the wrong thing, who is just so much more powerful. Oh shit. Oh, That's a good cliffhanger. That was a fantastic episode. But his like apathy and his just general like history with Nico Robin, which we don't really like delve into for quite a while, is what stops him from ultimately like coming after us with full force. But I really liked that we saw him, we fought against him, and it was like no contest. There's nothing we could have done. We were just done for. Also, this gave us some good foreshadowing for the Nico Robin based storyline that we were about to embark on, because I didn't think we were going into Nico Robin stuff, and I will talk about this later in the video because big surprise, there's Nico Robin stuff coming up in the top 5, but I didn't know we were going into Nico Robin stuff, and this was that first little hint of him going like, you should be careful around Nico Robin, she's gonna do some bad things, and we're like, yeah, whatever, old man, we don't care. On top of all of that, it's Dio's voice actor. Like, I love that guy. I always forget his name. Even though I feel like I look it up every time I mention him, I always forget his name. But he's an incredible voice actor. And I say this, I call him Dio's voice actor despite the fact that I watch JoJo in English. He's not even like my Dio. Obviously I have seen Dio in Japanese and I know what he sounds like, as Dio. But he's just like in my mind, like that's who he is. Dio's voice actor, but he's in so much shit. He's in basically everything, generally is some sort of villain, and he's such a good voice actor, and he's got such a recognizable voice, and I love it. So just having him be in the One Piece universe was exciting enough for me. Like having him show up and go, oh, this guy's powerful, and then go, holy shit, it's him. That's just a great moment. So that is why Aokiji vs Straw Hats makes it into my top 5. Next up, we have number 4, the CP9 mask reveal. Oh, hell yeah. The pigeon's here? Wait. Huh? Wait, what? So, this is a moment that I didn't see coming. And when I say I didn't see coming, not only did I not see who it was coming, but I didn't see the fact that they were going to be revealing anything at all coming at all. A lot of the time when there's a masked character that shows up, or several masked characters, it's a very common story technique to, okay, these characters in these masks like are gonna be someone you recognize, or someone that the characters in the show recognizes, and that's why they're wearing the masks, so that they can at some point in the show take them off and it's big reveal, you know? Now, I can't tell you why I didn't think that was the case for these characters. Maybe it's because it felt like, is there really anyone it could be that it would matter? You know, like we're on an island that we haven't really been on before. And so like a lot of the people we've met in the past in One Piece, they can't be here, you know? Like there was never a point where the bull was going to take his head off and it was going to be Kaya. You know, like this just wasn't gonna happen. I mean, I guess you could say like, oh, it's Kuro, you know, because he sailed off somewhere and we haven't seen him since, but it's just unlikely. So I wasn't even thinking about that stuff. And the people we had met on Water 7, as far as we knew, they were there at the place already defending against these people. And also they would have no reason from what we knew to be doing this. So what this did was, it was a nice twist because I wasn't even anticipating a twist until they pulled off their heads. And it was like a twist fourfold, you know? It was like that guy and that woman and that guy, you know? Huh? No way. What a twist! Oh my god, that was an awesome twist. I didn't see it coming at all. So I really liked that. I also liked that it seemed to show us more that the world is still doing shit without the Straw Hats. Something I like about One Piece is a lot of the time they will show up somewhere and there's shit that's just happening that has nothing to do with them. That they, like, it's not like these people are coming after the Straw Hats necessarily, and therefore all the people in Water 7 are being caught up in it. No, what's happening here is CP9 have been doing this operation for a while. They're in the middle of an operation. And they're, you know, dealing with stuff. In the same way, it reminds me of back in Whiskey Peak when, you know, we're coming across all these assassins from Baroque Works and stuff. But at one point, some of the Baroque Works assassins show up, but they're not here for us. They're here for who we find out is Princess Vivi, because she's been doing some bullshit behind the scenes. I like this because it makes it just feel like the Straw Hats aren't the center of this universe. They're on the edge of it. They're somewhere away from the middle, and they're trying to make their way into being the center of the universe, because if you're going to be king of the pirates, like, I would say right in the center of this universe is Gold Roger, right? So if you're going to be king of the pirates, you're going to be there. But I just like the fact it feels moving, it feels living, and this is a great example of that because it's just some shit that's happening that we happen to be there for. And then we end up getting twisted up in it because it ties into Nico Robin stuff eventually, you know? I think it's just great. So that's why the mask reveal is number 4. Number 3. Now, when this moment happened in the show, I thought to myself, I've got number 1 for this top 5 already. And it's number 3. So that's good news. Number 3 is Usopp versus Luffy. Did he say it? Oh, wow. I love the way this is written. Now, I will say, this one and number 2 are interchangeable. Maybe this one even should be a bit higher. Like, I really have no idea. So it really doesn't matter. Number 3 and number 2, I'm gonna say, are about the same to me in terms of how much I enjoy it. But Usopp versus Luffy. So this moment is, of course, incredible. I mean, this moment impressed me so much, and I think you'll see that in my reaction video. It impressed me because this is, like, this is a moment I didn't see coming. I didn't know Oda could write this kind of story. Like, this sort of depth to an argument between Usopp and the rest of the Straw Hats. Oh shit, man. I mean, I would trust the professionals. I would trust the shipwrights who know what they're talking about. Oh my god, Usopp. It felt so different and so real. And it was like, yeah, this is a fun adventure, but these people are real people. Like, that's what it feels like. They're actually reacting to the environment that's happening around them. It's a great moment of considering the other characters' perspectives on the situation. We're about to lose the Mary. The going Mary is about to go. We're about to lose her. Nobody's happy about it. Nobody's happy about that situation. But nobody's more upset about it than Usopp is. And that is great to show that, because, like, it would be very easy just to focus on Luffy's reaction to it. He is, you know, kind of dumb. He doesn't want to get rid of the going Mary. He wants to fix it. He might be upset. But we're having this as an incredible moment of, instead, Luffy is trying to show that he's a captain. And he knows from what Shanks have told him and from other things that he's seen, that captains have to make tough decisions. And they have to be the final arbiter of whatever we're going to do. And in this case, he's making the decision, okay, we need to survive. We have to leave the Mary behind. And the problem is, that decision is, this is the first time that he's made a decision and someone else in the crew has gone, no, I'm not standing for it. Wow, this is the most complex, like, relationships between them that they've written. Oh my god. Like, straight up, I'm not... Other people have pushed against his decisions before. Like, the moment, for example, off the top of my head, where Nico Robin, or Missile Sunday at the time, shows up for the first time and gives them an eternal pose, and Luffy grabs it and smashes it. And then people are like, Luffy, what the fuck are you doing? Like, we could have used that. And Luffy goes, this chick does not dictate the course of this ship. Like, she doesn't choose where we go. At that point, everyone took a step back and went, he's right. He's right. Luffy's the captain. We shouldn't be following what the enemy is telling us to do. This was the moment where Luffy said, we're leaving the Merry behind, and everyone went, okay, that's probably for the best. And Usopp went, no. You guys are all being ridiculous, and we can't do that. I love it because, as I said in the episode, Usopp sees the Merry as a metaphor for himself, like this character that's with the crew that is also weak and can't keep up with them. And because it can't keep up with them, they throw him aside. So Usopp sees that as a representation of himself. Is he too weak to be on the crew? Are they going to leave him behind eventually? And this will lead up to number 2 and what I loved about number 2 as well in this top 5. But I love that sort of anxiety where it's like, Usopp, yeah, he's not in his complete right mind necessarily, in that obviously it's not up to Luffy. Like, he can't choose to bring the Merry along because they will all die, right? They will die. The Merry is going to go down. But he still, I think he knows that in his heart. And yet he's still fighting back against it because he feels like this, if he doesn't fight for this, he's gonna be abandoned. And that's a beautiful moment. And all of that on top of the fact that Kaya gave him the ship. It's like the last thing he has from Kaya, this woman he loves. And they're gonna get rid of it. It's just gonna go down. They're gonna leave it behind. It's not like they can trail the ship behind them, like they can drag it with them further into the Grand Line. So they're going to be leaving the ship behind. And on top of all of that, I've talked about this a lot. On top of all of that, just the idea that Usopp is capable and smart and strategic, and when it comes to a fight with Luffy, he almost fucking wins. Wow, Usopp, this is great. Oh shit, flashbanged him. Who knew Usopp would be a pretty decent counter to Luffy? Oh shit. Okay. Is it flammable? Holy shit, Usopp! This is the coolest shit! That is the moment that, like, I really love. And you know what? I always love shit like that in these sorts of stories. When you have, like, one of the hardest rivals that they have to face is one of their best friends because they know their tricks. It happens in Yu-Gi-Oh! I love Yu-Gi-Oh! I've always loved Yu-Gi-Oh! Since I was a kid. And Yu-Gi-Oh! In season 1, there's a bit where Yugi and Joey face off. And I mean, even at obviously the very final duel of the series as well, which I won't spoil who that's between, but that's also the same thing. But a less spoilery one, Yugi and Joey face off in season 1, and Joey, you know, is a great duelist, but he's no Yugi Moto, you know. And yet it's still a great battle because Joey has watched Yugi fight this entire time. He knows his tricks, and Yugi didn't know all of Joey's tricks. There are things that he'd been working on, so it was really cool. Man, I want to rewatch Yu-Gi-Oh! Now. I want to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! All right. Anyway, that's Usopp vs. Luffy. What an amazing moment for number 3. At number 2, we have, it's actually a fitting place for it to be, Luffy's second gear. Oh? What? Whoa! What's going on? Why? Second gear? What? So, this moment is really cool mostly because of the potential that it shows. When shows have a moment where they set something up and they show us off something and we go, oh, there's a lot more we have to do in this show, that's some good shit to me. So when Luffy says, okay, it's time for second gear, then I go, well, there's gonna be more gears than that. Like, he's kicking it up into second gear. Cars don't have 2 gears, you know? Now, obviously, I think there's probably like bikes or whatever that have 2 gears. I don't care. Because, like, I'm pretty sure at that point in the show that there's gonna be more gears than just second gear. And at that point in the show, I didn't know what that was gonna be. Since then, I have seen third gear. Also, I said this in the video, I admitted this in the video, but, you know, One Piece fans did not shut up about the fact that there's a Gear 5 Luffy that happens sometime later in the series. I have not seen it. I've scrolled past screenshots of it. I've got a general idea of probably what it looks like, but I've scrolled past so quickly. But, like, I know that's coming. But even without that, like, you can just see there's potential for growth. And even at the end of that scene, he's about to kick into third gear immediately. Like, he goes to bite his tongue and says, third gear. And then as soon as he's about to do that, the Blueno gets knocked out. But it's basically Oda being like, there's more coming. Get ready, you know, prepare yourselves. It's also great for Luffy's character, because it ties into the Usopp versus Luffy thing. He sees that Usopp feels he's too weak and he's going to get left behind. He's taking that to heart. He's an emotionally intelligent motherfucker. And so he knows Usopp feels like he's going to be left behind, and therefore he's pulling away from them. He's trying to leave the Straw Hats. Okay. And so Luffy doesn't want that to happen. He doesn't want to lose his friends, and he doesn't want his friends to have to worry about being left behind. So Luffy is making a distinct decision. I have to get stronger. I have to come up with things that may hurt my body, may fuck with me. But they will be good enough to defend my friends and to make it feel like they don't need to be the ones to do the combat. You know, they, like, if they are the weakest people in the world, I can still defend them. Like, I don't care if they're a you know, 2-month-old puppy. I'm going to have them on my crew if I want them on my crew. And it doesn't mean he doesn't believe that his crew members are strong. He also wants the best. He wanted Zoro because he's wanted to be the world's greatest swordsman, you know? He saw the potential in Nami's navigation skills. He wanted an amazing cook like Sanji. Like, these characters are characters that he really wanted because of their talents and because of their drive. However, he doesn't need that from them. Now that they're his friends, he doesn't want them to leave because they think they can't keep up. He wants them to be, if they, you know, start to slouch, he can drag them behind him if he needs to. Oh, shit! Jet pistol. Oh my god! Holy shit, Luffy! And plus, the visuals for second gear are really cool. And just the creativity of, like, Luffy's got stretchy powers, and they could keep going creative with different ways to use stretchy powers, but instead, Oda is also doing these different variations of Luffy's fighting style. The first being second gear. Amazing. So good. Such a great moment. So, before I get to number 1, which I'm sure basically everyone here can guess what number 1 is, I do want to give some honorable mentions. Now, I'm going to mention all of the things that I was genuinely considering to be in my top 5. Like, all of these, any of these could have been 5 or 4, you know? But I'm just going to go through them very, very quickly. I'm not going to spend any time on them, but you'll know why they're important. Ready? The first time that we transitioned to HD episodes, it's noticeable the difference. Usopp crying because he's feeling useless. Frankie's whole backstory. Robin's reveal of her motivations for doing what she's doing. Oh my god! Soge King's opening song that they did. Robin's backstory, Chopper's monster form reveal, and finally Sanji's devil foot, which only just made it into the top, which only just made it into the 300 mark. Like that was one of the last episodes that I watched before 300. So yeah, those are all the moments for that I was considering putting into, you know, number 5 or number 4. I really loved all of those moments so much. So now we go to number 1, and you all know it's coming. Of course, I think, you know, almost anyone would put this at the very least in their top 3 moments, but I think almost everyone will put this as their number 1 moment of these 100 episodes. Robin, I want to live. Of course. Of course. Come on, Robin. To live like your mother said. Who cares what all these other people said? I mean, any moment that makes me cry is gonna be, you know, is gonna be a pretty massive moment. And this is just an incredible moment with amazing build-up. Everything about this is great. I love it because, I mean, this is probably my favorite moment of One Piece so far, which is crazy because this is 300 episodes of the show. The fact that, you know, in the third set of 100 episodes, we have the best moment so far. Like, every 100 episodes, I keep going like, well, this is my favorite moment so far. In the 200s, I think it was the in the like 1 to 200s, I think it was the Vivi goodbye moment, right? And I said that's my favorite moment so far. And I think in the first 100, was it the Nami crying moment? It turns out it's any point where the main female character of that part of the show is crying and talking to Luffy. Like, apparently those moments are the best moments in the show, but they're the best. They're so great. Oh, the voice actress is doing a great job. This moment is so incredible because with one little sequence, I mean, all the backstory and stuff ties into this very heavily, and the backstory is the perfect build-up for this. But in that, like, one moment, her entire character both changes and retroactively makes so much sense. Like, our perception of it completely shifts. But now everything clicks into place. This character that seemed like a relatively apathetic character who didn't have any goals or like any real reason with staying with the crew, a character that had jumped between crew after crew after crew that could betray us at any time, a character that we had been told in the past could do something bad and we didn't quite know exactly what it was. This character that had given herself up to the villains, and even, you know, knowing that she did it for us. I mean, she did do it for us. Even knowing that, there's still the question of, but wouldn't you just want to be with us anyway? All of that suddenly clicks into place as she says, I want to live, take me to the sea with you. Yeah. Oh my god. Nico fucking Robin. It's like, I get it now. She does want to live. She does have an intense desire to, you know, be in this world. And yet she's been told her entire life that she shouldn't want that she's a danger. And she's been shown every time she starts to open up a little bit to people that everything falls apart, that she doesn't deserve that she's like, that her living is a danger to people around them. So to be sort of respectful of those people, she goes along in this life acting like she doesn't want to live, that she doesn't want anything, that she's just, you know, along for the ride, even though that's a great desire of hers. And of course it's Luffy who's going to draw that out of her. The voice acting is incredible. And I would say this for both the Japanese and the English voices. I know people have their preferences. That's fine. You can have your preferences. I don't care about them. I mean, I do a little bit, but for the most part, people will be like, yeah, but the English doesn't even, you know, stand up anywhere near the... I don't care, right? I loved both of them. Both of them made me bawl my eyes out. I watched it in Japanese first, obviously, on this channel. Then I rewatched it in English dub. I cried so much both times. The passion, the incredible passion that both actresses put into that line. And the funny thing is, I want to live isn't necessarily the line that makes me fully bawl my eyes out. It's the take me to the sea with you, because it is like, it's a desperate scream. It actually like reminds me of like of like a child like who feels that they've been abandoned by their parents or something, like don't leave me behind. Like, she suddenly has this, all of this builds up all this time, and then she has this panicked realization of like, what if they leave me behind and I'm gonna miss out on everything that's to come. And I love that moment. Take me to the sea with you. Let me come. Let me experience all of these amazing moments with you. I don't want to miss out. That's such a vulnerable moment that I love. And you can hear me getting so emotional about it right now, because like, it seemed to strike a chord in me that I don't really fully understand what chord it's striking. I mean, I will say there are some moments in my life that I've felt like, you know, as a kid, I didn't want to be left behind for something, and it would have been a minor moment. It's nothing important, right? There's like, I don't know, there was like, I remember a moment at some point when I was a kid that my parents had like, they were gonna go and do something, and they asked if I wanted to come with them, or my family, my parents and my sister, they were gonna do something. I was a kid, so like, do I want to come with them? And I wanted to be with them, but I also like was with my cousin at the time, and we were playing video games together, and I was like, no, we're playing video games, we'll be fine. And then a little bit of time passed, they left and went to go, what I thought was go do the thing that they said they were going to do, and I was playing video games with my cousin. Pretty soon into it, he was like, well, I'm done, I'm going to bed, and he left. And then it was just me, and I was like playing video games on my own, and I felt so lonely. And it wasn't my house, it was my cousin's house. I just felt so alone and isolated. And this is the stupidest, like, I know this is nothing, because it's like, I was playing video games, I was fine, and I just had to wait until the next day or whatever to be with my family. But in that moment, that didn't matter to me. I just felt so lonely, and I was sitting there, I was crying, I was really upset. And then my family came in. It turns out, like, you know, they went to dinner or something before they were gonna go back to the hotel or whatever they're doing. And I saw them, and I was like, oh my god, they're here. Like, it felt like someone saved me, and I went, can I go back with you guys to the hotel so I wasn't lonely anymore? And I did that, and they took me back to the hotel with them, and then me and my sister played Harvest Moon together. And it was like, it's such a fond memory for me, because I went from like the depths of feeling so lonely to feeling like I was saved by my family coming back and bringing me with them, and then I had a great night playing Harvest Moon. I know it's stupid, but like, different shows connect to people in different ways, and that's like a string that this moment tugs on me with, you know? I didn't want to miss out on this moment with my family. I wanted to be there. And this is the same thing. Robin wants to be with her friends, and she doesn't want to be alone. She doesn't want to die. It's incredible. This is so cool. So that's the best moment in One Piece so far. That's the top moment of episodes 200 to 300. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. Make sure to support this video and go to my Patreon account if you want to watch the full-length reactions to these. Subscribe to this channel. I got so much more One Piece coming, and the more people that jump on board, the more likely it is that I can continue doing these videos, because I want to be able to do these videos until I'm caught up with the show and further. I want to keep doing these videos as long as I can, so make sure to do that. And tell me in the comments below, what's your favorite moment and why? Do you have a moment that wasn't even on this list? I know there are other great moments in these episodes. I had other moments that I was thinking about putting in there as well. So put them in the comments below as well. Who's your favorite character? Stuff like that. I love to hear it. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure to support the video. I will see you next time. Goodbye.